has had a significant impact and share some practical tips on how you can lead your teams as one of the goals. Please welcome to the stage, Cheryl Shiflett.
I like microphones. I have stuff. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Seriously, you're fine.
I literally have stuff. So I want to thank Dave and Jason for having me when you guys are hangry and ready to go eat lunch. So bear with me. I talk fast and we will jump right in. As I said, I am Cheryl. I am a star director with Scentsy. So that I'm totally transparent with you, I'm not top 50. I am not the guru of sales. I am not the queen of building team. I don't have systems. My head's kind of all the time, okay? But I want to tell you what I did do, okay? In the last year, since last March, I've grown my base, I've grown my customers, I've been working more with my team, helping them more because I've been involved. I earned a summer incentive. I earned level 1 incentive for winter, and the first day of flash sale, thank you guys for doing that, I earned annual sales 3 months early. So I'm super excited about that, but I don't say that because I'm like, ooh, look at me. I have not arrived, but I want to tell you how I got here. So we're just going to jump back to 2019. My business was already on life support. My oldest daughter had just been diagnosed with multiple autoimmune disorders. My youngest was coming into mental awareness that she had a mentally abusive gymnastics coach. We did competitive gymnastics for many years. And on July 15th, I said I wasn't gonna do this either. Like, I practiced this without crying.
You got it, baby.
My husband is a Baltimore City police officer. And I got that call that he had been shot, and he survived. So he's always gonna have issues from it, but he did survive, so thank God. But as you can imagine, my already flailing business was put even further back on the shelf. And so my life became doctor's appointments and mental health for my children and mental health for my husband and all the things that came with that. And I shut down a little bit. I took a step back because my family's everything, right? We do what we have to do. And so I did. And so I'm gonna jump forward. We go through COVID, we go through all the things. Scentsy has all this growth, me not so much. I'm still on life support, barely holding titles, sometimes not, okay? And we get to 2022. Let's get to 2022. Brief overview: COVID, car accident, Connecticut, 3 weeks there for a daughter's surgery. Come back home, she's recovering. My husband says, you know what? I'm not done, I'm going back to the hospital. So he was out of work for 9 months. While he was in ICU, my daughter got into a car accident, wrecked our car. That's 2 cars in 1 year. And I was ready to walk from Scentsy. I'm like, I just can't do this. And I had a fixed mindset. But I'd had it for a long time, let's face it. It wasn't all the things that I had gone through that made me just stop. But at that moment, I was like, I don't think I can do this business anymore. And we homeschooled our kids. And my kids would come and say, you know what? I can't do that, Mom. And I'm like, you can't or you won't. You won't, okay? I didn't follow my own advice too well, did I? So, I'm gonna flip my page. And then, and I want you guys to write this down. I want you to write and then ... Okay? Because what is and then in a book? It's a cliffhanger, right? Either something super tragic is about to happen, or something is about to happen to the main character that they never saw coming. And that is the vein that we're going on as the main character of your story, okay? And then I was invited to a leadership retreat with directors and above, and something happened. It was amazing. It was life-changing. I went there. I didn't want to go. I thought, I'm already halfway out the door. Whatever, I'll just go. I don't know why I wanted to go, but I didn't. So I get there and I realized I was sitting with top 50 people, and they were just like me. We cried, we laughed, we talked about our fears and insecurities, And I was like, maybe I can do this. Maybe. So after the time, on the last day, I said, I'm gonna give myself 1 year. Just one. I can do 1 year and work the business as hard as I can within my scope, and let's see what happens. And then I'm gonna walk, because I still thought I was gonna walk. And I did that. When I got back from leadership, I had a whole list. If anybody knows me, my brain doesn't stop firing. I had a whole list of things that I was going to do, but I knew that I couldn't do all the things of my 20,000 things that I had written down. So I spent time evaluating the top 3 things that I needed to do immediately in my business, and that's what I'm going to share with you. And it may look different for you, you guys. This is what I needed. I had a very non-existent business, okay? And this was the start of my growth mindset. It didn't happen overnight. It wasn't easy. It doesn't happen in a minute. But these are the things I did. I revamped. 2-part. The first part of my revamp was, how did I want to be seen as a Scentsy person? Did anybody even remember after 12 years that I was still selling? And so I set about thinking of ways that I could set myself apart and not be like them, and not be like them, and not be like him, and not be like her, but be like me. Because remember, God made you you. Doesn't matter if you're shy, doesn't matter if you're an extrovert, doesn't matter. All the things that you tell yourself, you're you. And your people want you, not me, okay? So I revamped my marketing that I had never done in 13 years. I started labeling things I had never done in 13 years. Eeks! I had nothing in place, so I thought about my image. And the second thing that I did to revamp is I had to fix this. Okay, and I know life happens, guys. I gave y'all a little snippet. Man, life happens. And it's not easy, and I lost myself. So I had to really tell myself weekly and monthly, I can do this. And then I started talking about my goals, and I didn't even believe that. I didn't believe myself, okay? But I started to as I made effort. The second thing that I did is I joined Project Broadcast, but now that we have Scentsy Connect coming, that's kind of cool. So for me, it was Project Broadcast. Because of my brain and it firing all the time, I needed a place to put all my customers into one thing, shoot out a, hey, it's a flash sale. Hey, we're having Disney. Hey, whatever it is, right? That's what I needed for my brain. And I did it. And I'm not a guru at it, but it works for me, and I'm learning. And my year this year is to keep growing with it. But let me say this, as someone else mentioned, you don't have to do Project Broadcast. You do what fits you and your brain and your life. Create your own ways. You've got a cell phone. Most of us have social media. You can email, you can call, you can do your spreadsheets, whatever it is that fits in your life to have contact with your customers. Which brings to the final one, which you guys have heard for a while. and it is the follow-up. And that is your goal, you guys. The follow-up really is the most important thing. You can do all the things. You can put it out there all day long. But if you don't reconnect, you're missing the connection, okay? You're missing out on what can be. And that includes friendships. I just went to lunch with one of my customers the other day. Somebody I met at a show, really random, okay? You have to find those things and find the places, whether you do events, I love events. If you're a party person, if you're not a party person, what works for you? Do you want to have an open house? Do you want to have a bunko night? Do you want to just have people color in a flower party? What works for you? And you really need to take time and evaluate what it is that works for you. Not me, not anyone else, okay? What works for you? And I have really struggled with that because I saw all the things and they were shiny and pretty and they worked so well, but they didn't work for me. And I knew they wouldn't because I can't, right? I can't. And with that follow-up, I made a commitment, my 1-year commitment to do more. I have to get some water before I die. I'm like shriveling up before you. I made a commitment to do monthly follow-ups. I had never in my life done follow-up ever. I was sort of the person that was like, I'm so cute, they're just gonna keep coming back. I was not that cute, apparently. It was not cute at all. Okay, I had a tiny, like a couple people that shopped for me here and there. I would post things in hope. I'd stand with the net. That's such a good illustration. I'd stand with a net and hope that somebody just flew into it, right? Just kind of happenstance. So I made the effort. So for me, what it looked like for me is that I decided to do a monthly postcard. Anybody that had ordered from me, mind you, nobody was ordering from me. Anybody that had ordered from me was gonna get a thank you postcard the following month. Okay, and so because I really had no customers, I went back an entire year, because my business wasn't great. I went the entire year and sent every single person a thank you and a little tiny sample. I was like, is that my time? Stop it. Stop it. I went through and that's where I started, okay? I started with what was nothing and I made it into something. I found events because that works for my brain. I started talking about Scentsy. I started being consistent. Let me tell you something about social media, okay? Because I know they touched on it. When you're doing social media, it is 80% personal, 20% business. And I'm gonna share a secret. I can get great conversation on my cute little memes and my funny little pictures, and I post Scentsy and it's like, I see nothing, right? But let me tell you, and I get a stray consultant who feels sorry for me. They like my post or something, right? And we're so happy. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. Our job is just to get the information out there. Our job is to make sure that people see it, right? Just because somebody doesn't like it didn't mean you didn't do good. It wasn't for them. What happened was, is I'd post something that I thought was just so cute, and I worded it up cutesy, nothing. But I get a message, hey, remember when you posted that bar special 3 weeks ago? I'm kind of interested. What? I didn't post about it, I was posting about the dogs. What? You know, right? But people started coming out. People started messaging me for the things. So you are seeing, guys, and Facebook likes interaction. So you need to make sure that you don't post it once and say, she got 900 sales out of it, I got nothing. Can't do that, okay? Because it didn't work for your people, right? They didn't want that, and that's okay. Our job is to make sure they see that. All right, so be consistent, do your follow-up. So you're gonna revamp. How do you want people to see you? You're gonna revamp this and tell yourself that you can, okay? You're gonna find a system. I use Project Broadcast, Scentsy Connect is coming. There's other ways. Do what works for you to make sure you have a place to let them know about sales and things. And then follow up and consistency. So I'm gonna leave you with 2 thoughts. So for 13 years, this is sad, 13 years, no follow-up, no nothing, right? A lot of customers came and went, man, came and went. And I would hear people do, pick a word of the year, especially at the new year. We're all gonna be fresh and new, and we're gonna pick inspiration, right? We're all picking these words. So I was like, hokey pokey. Not doing it, not gonna happen on my watch, that's so silly. But Lisa Davies, we do a weekly training with our leaders, with our teams. And she was like, it's January, we're doing the word. Everyone choose their word. And I was horrified, and I was like, nope. And then I got off the phone because my brain doesn't ever stop. And because this has been a year of growth for me and learning things about myself and reminding myself who I was after all the trauma that we had had, I thought, why didn't I pick a word? It's not that silly. And then I realized, and I want to make sure I get this right, so I'm going to check my notes. I realized something about myself. If I didn't pick a word, I didn't pick a goal, didn't say my goal, didn't do a dream board, I didn't have to hold myself accountable. And that really hit me, and I had never thought of it like that, but it was true. After seeing what I could accomplish in just 1 year of focus, I had never held myself accountable. So if I didn't pick a word, I couldn't really fail. And I don't like the word fail, right? Because I didn't achieve all the goals I wanted this year, but I'll be darned if I didn't look back and see all the things that happened along the way. I am just thrilled to get luggage this year. Y'all have no idea. I'm so excited. So I want you to think about a word. And then I want you to put action to it, right? I don't want you to pick and be like, see, it didn't work. Okay? Your goal and your thing in leaving here is to choose the things that work for you and your brain and how it works best. And my final thought for you is, so I love Christmas. My Christmas tree is still up. I felt the judgment. We're trying to get it down, it's bad, I know. But I do love Christmas. And one of my favorite Christmas movies is The Santa Claus. And if you haven't seen it, oh, it's such a great movie and so happy and wonderful. And I love Santa and he's real. So there is a point though in the movie where Tim Allen's character realizes that he is now Santa Claus, right? And he's sitting there and he's sitting on the bed and he's holding a cup of cocoa and he's looking around and he's telling the elf, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. And she looks at him and says, that's the problem with you humans. You missed the point. Seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. Let me say that again. Write down. Seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. And I have always, even before all of this, thought, man, that could be applied to so many areas in your life. So my question for you with Scentsy and your life, do you believe in you? I didn't. And something happened on the way. I started believing in myself and I started seeing things happen and I started getting excited after 12 years, now 13, with Scentsy that I hadn't felt in a long time, man, like long time. And I made things happen because I learned to believe in yourself. So I want you to take your and then ... and be your main character of your story and make it happen. And don't sit back and wait. And don't say the things and not mean those things. Do them little by little and step by step. Time is a process. It won't happen overnight. You can do this. I believe in you. I know Scentsy does. I have these butterflies. I know I've given some to a bunch of you. Please come see me for a butterfly and get a hug and let's connect. I am so grateful to be up here. Thank you for listening to my story. So I appreciate it.